And you are back on the Tortoise and Hare experience. You just heard the song Soberland by the band After, and we have Jose coming on in just a bit. But before we do that, we are going to have another guest come in.
We are.
Well, we have to create anticipation to talk to Jose. It's been a while since
Yeah, that's true. And you got to work it up for
exactly
after.
Exactly, as they're working it up for us.
That's right, all the time.
Yeah, as we just heard, Soberland. And for more information, log on to afterishere.com. Welcome into the Tortoise and Hare experience. Brand new year, brand new season.
Right, new year. Scary, isn't that scary? 2015.
It's a complete reboot. I like that.
Whoever thought we would make it this far?
I did.
Did you? I didn't. I hadn't.
I never give the choice of surrender. It's like, no, we're just going to go and do this for as long as possible.
Nice.
So as in every experience, we always like to start it off with an experience. It has been quite some time. So I don't know if you have anything you want to go first.
You know that I have never anything exciting to talk about, ever.
That's not true.
It's not true.
That's not true.
I just was at NAM, which is the National Association of Music Merchandisers, and it's all of the great new equipment that's out. All of the companies come together and show their wares, and all of the artists come out, and it's great fun and very exhausting. And so I had some interesting experiences being there. As you know, you do NAM every year.
I do NAM every year. This year, however, I did not get my orders to report to NAM. So
yeah, you skated out.
I did.
And it's probably good that you did, because there was 400,000 people at NAM
too
this
many
year.
People.
Yeah,
that's way.
There's
too
a lot
many
of germs. And then, you come out and you've got NAMthrax and all sorts of, NAM diseases that God knows where they came from, but, we're happy to carry them around.
When I'm there, I usually end up like 30 minutes deep getting amnesia, where it's just like I have no idea where I'm at.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like, it's real weird, because once you look at one guitar, like, they all, like, after a while just look the same, and you're trying to, like...
Oh, no.
I don't know.
That's like looking at twins and saying that they're the exact same. They're not the same.
Well,
everything is different.
I know they're not, but it's just eye exhausting, you know what I mean? Like,
it's the lights and the new fog machines that they have, and, all of that stuff that it's overwhelming.
Very overwhelming.
Yeah, it's a lot to see.
Yeah. So was that your experience? Or?
Yeah, I experienced that. I met up with a lot of people, a lot of friends showing support and love, and had to answer a lot of questions which I was not prepared to do. Why do you look so good, but you're so sick? I'm like, I don't know. And then I have to, spend 3 hours explaining what lupus is. So that was a good time.
You can always get out of that by just saying life is about sheer irony.
Right, isn't it? It is. That's true. That's true.
That's how I get a lot of, out of everybody. Where they're like, why is this happening then this? I'm like, it's irony, man. Like, that's
what happens. Life. It's my life.
Yeah.
Get used to it.
Exactly.
Move on. Look at a guitar.
Exactly. Yeah. Look at another billion guitars that I'm looking at. For me, my experience, this was an interesting time in my life. As you know, I've been working at a cafe.
Mm-hmm.
And through working at this cafe,
one of your many jobs.
One of my many, many jobs that I do, but that one is like the most I want to say rewarding. Don't get me wrong, like working with like rock stars and all that. That's cool too, but like there's something about like when I'm washing dishes or scrubbing floors or just like like I don't know, like it just feels like I'm doing something, because all these other jobs that I have, this is what I don't like, is that I could be contacted at any moment in time. When I'm at the cafe, I'm just there, and yeah, I don't know, I'm unplugged from the world, and I'm just focusing on getting everything right. And I just started my, I guess, apprenticeship to become a barista. So,
nice.
Yeah, so I started, and it took me 7 months. I started from the bottom doing dishes, scrubbing floors, and now they're finally giving me the nod to start learning the complete seduction that is caffeine, or espresso.
You don't drink coffee, do you?
I do now because I have to taste everything to understand the flavors and the complexities of everything. So I'm usually a tea guy, but I've actually I don't know. I guess I really like hot water, so I'm drinking a lot of hot water.
That's good.
When I don't have
hot water's much better for you.
Yeah.
Interesting fact is our director today is Dave Rita, the very famous, zombie Dave Rita, who's fantastic award-winning director, is our cameraman. And he's from Colombia and drinks no coffee.
Okay.
But he's addicted to Coca-Cola.
Okay, well.
Isn't that crazy?
At least
it's
it's
a crazy
Coke.
thing. Yeah, right? Well,
from
yeah, I
Colombia.
guess that's, I don't know.
It all works out.
Right.
So people, just like in life, you have to start from the bottom. Like, don't get me wrong. There's some people that are going to start maybe not at the bottom, but I think you get much more of an appreciation for everything when you start at the very, very bottom. Than like,
who doesn't start at the bottom?
There's some people that don't. There's some people that get a fast pass through life.
Yeah.
And they just
Jose.
I don't know about that. I've seen him
total talent.
Go through
straight to the top.
But you have to go through those challenging times in life because those things
right.
Are going to help you become a better person. And because of this cafe, every 2-3 months they're doing evaluations. And that got me to think, like, you know what? Like, I think the world, or if not each of us personally, every 3 months should evaluate ourselves. I know it's tough because we don't want to look at it, but, when they evaluated me, they told me everything that I was doing wrong. And then they told me what I was doing right. Mm-hmm. It was very humbling. But, it's like I have to know what's wrong, because if I don't know what's wrong, how am I going to fix it?
Right.
And because I started to fix everything.
But wait a minute, I tell you what's wrong with you all the time, and you don't listen to me, and you don't say that, that's a growing thing for you. None of that.
Well,
Where's the love?
Maybe next break I'll give you some. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. Go make your coffee.
Yeah, so I'm learning that, but just enjoying that process of understanding all that. So yeah, good times. We have with us Lisa Johnson.
Yeah,
and
the fabulously gorgeous
yes,
Lisa Johnson.
She actually hit on me when she walked in.
In your dreams?
No, she did. We'll chat with her right now. But I told her I couldn't because I was too busy, setting everything up.
I see.
But I did lean forward just a little bit to show my butt to her. I was just like, oh, let me just move.
Well,
this.
You do have a good butt.
Thank you. I've been working really hard on it. But without further ado, Lisa, we share an experience. Would you care to share an experience?
Wow, I've enjoyed your share a lot. Thank you, first of all, for having me on your program today.
Thank you for coming.
It's always fun to come out and talk to people about music, and what a great conversation. Are you yogi?
Yeah, I do yoga.
You're like a natural born yogi. I am a yogi. I have been practicing and teaching for 13 years. And the book that I'm here to talk about, 108 Rockstar Guitars, has been a 17-year endeavor. And out of 17 of those years, 14 of them, I learned yoga. And yogis drink hot water. Mm-hmm. They are not to drink alcohol like a true yogi. No drugs, no alcohol. No caffeine.
Yeah, well, fail over here.
Yeah, it's a complete fail. But you know what? That's I don't know. Like I understand to do all that, you have to do all that. But you know what? I want to have fun, man. And I'm not saying I need those things to have fun, but it's just like I might go get a beer right now.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm not there yet either. I don't want to be there. I don't think. I want to be there. I just still, enjoy partaking in a little bit of substance. I think that it actually elevates you to a higher level of consciousness, or a taste of it, so that when you go into meditation, you can get there a lot easier because you're familiar with the path to get there. So, but you're also talking about how that's a really humble job of doing the dishes and sweeping the floors and stuff like that. And right away I thought, That's really cool because he's into music. This is like what he really loves to do and his joy, and then he doesn't mind going and doing that job. And sometimes, the true gurus are the ones that sweep the floors, the custodians. So I thought, first of all, that was your first yoga move right there.
Bam.
And then you got into the coffee thing, and it's just interesting, people's paths. And so I do yoga. I'm actually taking Kundalini yoga teacher training right now.
Oh wow.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
Kundalini. That's my favorite.
I've done Bikram and taught Bikram for 13 years.
I don't like Bikram.
It's hardcore,
Yeah, it's too much for me. It's
I
a
told
little-
you, it totally made me focus though. Like toes on the line, eyes one point, don't move, don't even blink your eyes, and just listen to the words and just move in and out of it. And it teaches you so much discipline. And if you can take that, and you have to be in class on time, otherwise doors locked.
Yeah, there's another fail for me. I
Yeah,
don't know if this
I-
on time stuff.
I generally run 10 to 15 minutes late. I got here early today though.
I'm sorry, I was late.
Oh, that's okay. I usually arrive to come to interviews just a little bit early because I didn't know if we were like right on at 2 or what. So thank God the traffic. I was worried actually.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good today. I was surprised. I think everybody thought that it was going to be pouring down rain, so they just stayed home or were at work.
Yeah.
Is that something people do?
People do work on these days.
Oh, okay.
This is like a real-
What day is it?
I don't
It's
know.
Monday.
It's not-
It's a blur. After
It's
4 days
Tuesday.
at NAM.
No, it's Wednesday.
No, it's Tuesday.
It's Wednesday.
Well, this comes out on Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday.
No worries.
My mother's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday,
happy
Mom.
birthday.
What was your mom's name?
My mom's name is Doreen, and I grew up with her singing. She's got a voice like Dolly Parton. She can sing and should have been a major artist. Grew up in a really poor farm life in British Columbia, Canada, and she never really had the breaks. Of course, Dolly Parton and Loretta Lynn, they had rough starts too. My mom just never had the people around her or any extra money, or I don't know. Anyway, it didn't happen for her. My father plays all kinds of instruments: guitar, mandolin, violin, bass. So I grew up with both in a musical family, listening to that.
Wasn't that how all of this started? Was a search
Yeah.
for a guitar for your father?
Well, it kind of started as a quest to, in ways, to connect with my dad because my parents were divorced when I was 10. And I was always trying to find ways to, a conversation was always difficult. And he loved photography. He was an amateur photographer. And so when I went to college, I thought, well, Dad would think would be cool if I became a photographer. And then when I called him up and said, Dad, guess what, I'm going to photo school. He's like, what? You can't do that. You're never going to make any money. And so I'm like, hey, I've decided that's what I'm going for. So I did, and then I ended up working for an underground photo lab in Melbourne, Florida, that we did. I had to have a security clearance, a secret clearance with the government to handle the material for Grumman Aerospace and different clients that we had that were aerospace industry. So it was really interesting, and I got to know my Kodak rep. After doing that for 2 years, we used so much product. We had our own Kodak rep, and so she and I became friends, and she helped me get a job at Eastman Kodak. So I moved to New York, Rochester, where there's a blizzard going on right now.
Yikes. Yeah, we're praying for all those people. Everybody's safe.
Went up to Rochester to train for 9 months with Kodak, and the worst ice storm they'd ever had in like 30 years happened when we first got there. And it was a wonderful experience. I learned so much with Kodak, and then they launched me out into my first territory and different territories, and I ended up in Memphis, Tennessee, and dating the guitar player from church. And I called up Dad, I'm dating this guitar player. However, he is the guitar player at church, because Dad, being a musician, told me I was not allowed to date musicians.
I think that's a rule.
I go, also, too, he has a vintage guitar store. And Dad goes, oh, well, first of all, he's not a touring musician, so doesn't count. And let's get back to that vintage guitar shop idea. He goes, if he ever gets in a Gibson mandolin, I've always wanted one, let me know. So 2 weeks later, he gets in a mint condition Gibson mandolin, 1917. And I go, how much? I want to buy that for my dad. And he's like, you can't afford it, but if you photograph some guitars for me that I have to sell that I don't want to sell, I'll trade you for the mandolin.
Wow.
So I did, and I got that mandolin for my dad.
What was his expression like when you handed that to him?
Oh, he couldn't believe it.
Did he play it right then and there?
Oh yeah, you open the case and try it out, and it's out of tune, and you got to tune it up. And oh yeah, since then I got my dad a Martin mandolin from Hank, same guy, and I got him. I just got him last year a beautiful Paul Reed Smith 408 guitar.
Nice.
It's powder blue, and it's designed more for bluegrass country, which is what he plays. And so yeah.
We're talking with Lisa Johnson, which you can find at 108rockstarguitars.com. And that's 108, the actual numbers, not like the, the writing, 'Cause, well, websites these days, they'll spell out like the numbers, and you got to be like, no, these are the numbers. So it's 108 rockstarguitars.com. And 108, that's just an interesting like number. Did it just happen to like they would have, if you would have like, I don't know, dropped a guitar or something, would it have been 107 or something? Or
No. Well, we're talking about yoga.
yeah.
So in yoga philosophy, the number 108 is a cosmic number, an auspicious number. And I see Max is fully loaded today with her malas around her wrists. And if you see, you see the swamis and the Indian gurus, they'll have a prayer bead around their necks. Those always have 108 beads on them. And then there's the one guru bead, but they count it as 108 beads, and then the guru bead's the starting bead. So back in early astronomy, they mapped the stars, and they learned that there are 108 diameters of the sun.
That's
from the
way
sun
too
to the
convenient.
earth. There's 108 diameters of the moon, from the moon to the earth, and there's 108 diameters of the earth around the sun. And they were like blown away by that. So, suddenly 108 became a very cosmic number. And you can Google it. Google 108 Wikipedia, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that comes up about that number.
Okay.
It's true. And if you look at the cover of this, I don't know if you can see that, but you can go to our website and check it out. It's first off, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I want to touch it.
No.
But
All right.
okay. Just had to touch it. I like to touch things.
I mean, the
It's like the
hardcover,
Holy Grail.
this is the soft cover edition.
Yeah.
The hardcover weighs 9 pounds, and it is a
Jeez.
red leatherette, so you can actually feel the texture of the leather.
Ooh,
You can
nice.
see that it looks like textured in on this. They did such a beautiful job,
Yeah.
Hal Leonard, taking the hardcover and turning it into a soft cover. It's basically the identical book. It's just smaller, because the hardcover's like 9.5 by 13, and this one is 9 by 10, so it's almost a square.
But the artwork is gorgeous in here with the necks of the guitars and the inlays. I don't know if
Yeah,
you can
it
see
has
that.
like the gold
And the lotus. It's really beautiful.
looks like gold leaf, and the designs are guitar headstocks, and there's a lotus flower in the center, and it's for the yogi. And when you open up the book, the first page is why 108. One of your first questions to me, as well. And the reason I did that was because everyone says the 101 greatest, the 100 greatest, and it kind of like, it's been so used. And I was actually in India sitting with an Indian Vedic astrologer, and said, I need to find a title for my book. And I know that it's got to have something like rock star guitars in it, because it's obvious now what the book's about. And I said, but there's, like, what? And he's like, well, you're a yogi. Why don't you call it 108 Rockstar Guitars? And it was like instant, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love when that happens.
Yeah. And so, every guitar book typically has a picture of a guitar on the cover of it. And I really wanted this book to be an art piece. The hardcover book is beautiful on a coffee table. And this one, the soft cover, it's pliable, and you can stick it in your backpack and, move around with it. And it's kind of like you want both, because you want the hardcover and then you want the soft cover to be able to manhandle and get through it. Because it's a lot. It's 396 pages, and that totals a 9, by the way, as 108 total is 9. And in numerology, 9 is endings and beginnings, transformation, and this project has been transformative for me. And it just lends a cosmic element to it. Everything is a 9. Around the perimeter of the book are 27 headstocks, which totals a 9. There's 9 lotus petal leaves. let us, you know what I'm
Did-
saying.
yeah.
Around the edge. There's 9 of them, okay? Everything is 9 in this book. And the price is $108 for the hardcover, which is a
Okay.
9, and the soft cover is $54, so it's 9. So everything's 9. And it just keeps it, in numerology-wise, cosmic.
You can find her at 108rockstarguitars.com, and that's where you can also purchase the book, 108 Rockstars. So go out, purchase it. And this book, what I like is it's a good like coffee table book.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even better, I make coffee now. So
That's right. You should have
Well,
one
you
in
have
your
to start
shop.
drinking.
right.
You should. Every shop should have one. So we
people have-
we really recommend that every shop owner in the listening area, and that is even
Well,
not in the listening
I
area,
mean,
goes
you
out and
ship-
buys this book.
Internationally, right?
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
sure.
Oh, sure. I have. I've shipped books now to Australia. Like, if you go to my website and you buy the hardcover book from my site, it's always a signed copy. So it's cool that you get a signed copy for the same price. And I've shipped to Japan, Australia, tons to Germany, England, lots to England, Canada. Yeah, so it's shipped in Australia internationally. Hal Leonard has this book distributed through Barnes & Noble. Every Barnes & Noble, every Guitar Center has it. Guitar Center, yo.
Wow.
Yay, Guitar
That's
Center.
really cool.
It is
And you want to know
very
why?
cool.
Because it's Hal Leonard. Hal
That's
Leonard
true.
is so respected in the publishing industry, and they have global distribution.
Do you know who
So-
Hal Leonard is?
No, is that like?
Hal Leonard's the largest music publishing house in the industry. They're the world's largest music publisher. They make all the tab books. You know, like
Okay,
you want to
yeah.
learn how to play this. You know, it's got all the tab.
Instructional books.
I was thinking Spock for some reason.
Spock.
Yeah, Leonard
no,
Nimoy.
that's Leonard Nimoy. That's a little bit different.
We're not
but
talking about the Star Trek convention. We were at NAMM. Now we're at
kind of
Guitar
close.
Center.
I don't know. I saw some of those outfits out there. That was a little Star Trek-y.
I saw those guys, and we're gonna have videos on my Facebook, and we got slow mo of those guys going past my booth.
It's very funny.
Who were they?
I have no idea. And why? Why?
I
Why
don't
are you
know.
dressed like that?
NAMM probably hired them just to entertain us.
Well, I'm glad that they did, because it was entertaining.
Not that it wasn't exciting, because wow, what an exciting show!
It,
Wow.
it really was exciting. It was informative. There was products out there that I'd never seen before, and I was really excited to see that. Dave was very excited to see this new fog machine that has no smell, and it just stayed on the ground, which is awesome
Wow.
for all the filmmakers out there. So you should go and check the NAMM website for that, and you can see the footage on that.
Did you go to the Gibson booth?
I did go to the Gibson.
Did you
booth.
see those bees? The bee microphones?
Yes.
They're like these microphones
it's
that are in the
so
that
cool.
are in the shape of a bumblebee, a little cute
so
baby
cute.
bumblebee with the wings and the head. And I said to my buddy Don Rafato works at Gibson, and so we went there. We took a camera in there, and we were interviewing Don and stuff. Anyway, we got the bees, and I go, this is a great for kids, because there's so many kids nowadays that are like everyone wants to be a
Right.
rock star. So I'm like, and he goes, no, these aren't just for kids. These are like adults
they're
like these too.
They're very
Fun.
good.
One would look really good on you, actually.
thank you very
yeah,
much.
I think she needs a B microphone.
I
Okay.
do.
And who makes
Can we
this?
work that out?
Gibson.
Gibson, I know Gibson's watching this right now and listening to it, so feel free, send us over maybe a bee, and then you make a turtle one for me.
Right.
There you
Custom
go.
made.
That
That
be
would be
cute?
appropriate.
Maybe
Yeah.
my bee could have some
I'll
bunny
mention that
ears.
to my
That'd be
Gibson
funny.
guy. Tell him you need a turtle one.
Please, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
You have a Gibson guy?
I'll tell you what, Gibson is so smart because they are really diversifying now. They're getting into these really cool speakers, and the speaker fronts are finished like a burst, a sunburst finish on a guitar. And so you've got the speakers, the woofers here, and then all around it, the wood looks like a guitar. Paint job, beautiful. And then they have DJ equipment. They have, of course, their guitars,
Right.
acoustic, electric. And so, I mean, they're saying that they're building more acoustic guitars than ever right now. Like, they can't
Right.
build them fast enough. So, everybody wants to be a rock star. All these kids,
Everybody
they're
wants
all,
to be
and
a
that's
rock
good.
star.
That's good. Like, the kids are learning something, and that goes right into what your charity is, which is so beautiful. We started
Right,
talking about it
Guitars of
now.
Love.
Guitars of Love.
And by the way, those of you that are watching this via Enter the Shell or our YouTube channel, we do have Guitars of Love right here that you can actually see. So they're going to be here the entire show.
Right. And we thank Schecter for these guitars in particular, and all of the rock stars that were at NAMM that signed them.
Cool. You know, I had like a little issue with you saying all these, you know, kids want to be rock stars. They shouldn't want to be a rock star.
They should want to be
a musician.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, you know, like anybody could be a rock star. You know, you don't have to just play an instrument, you know, to be a rock star. You want to be a rock star, by all means, facilitate that, but learn an instrument and create something with that. All that other stuff will come. You know, you just gotta create with that instrument.
I think that once they have that first idea, I want to be a rock star, and then to be a rock star, a lot of them have to play an instrument. So it does get them on that path, even though it may start from an egoic place. They start, once they learn how to play, they're going to feel that music, and then they're going to go, oh wow, okay. I don't want, they're going to choose. Do I want to be like the front person? Do I want to be the you know, somebody in the back playing the guitar? Like Slash said, there was some interview that he did, and they asked him to write about frontmen, and he said, like, I'm glad I'm not a front man because I can be in the back and just be doing my own thing,
Throwing up on
and
the
I
side
don't
of
have to
stage.
hold up the show, you know, like the
Right.
front guy, that guy really. So anyway, the whole thing is, I think even though they start off going and like, I want to be a rock star, at least they're getting into music.
That's true. You know, even
Some
with
of them will get it.
producers, you know, we really want to encourage them to play instruments as well. I think it's really important.
Are you having fun with that wire?
Yeah, I am.
It's just
I'm like wrangling with the cord there. All right, I'm all right now.
Let's talk about your outfit for a minute, because
Okay.
I noticed that you are wearing the gorgeous Julia Gerard's designs,
I am.
and
yeah.
I'm a huge fan. She makes all my show clothes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I
We're
didn't
getting
know
girly.
that.
Yeah.
Look, I
Yeah,
told
we're
her
getting girly right now.
we
so
were
just be quiet
texting
over
from
there.
because she's been trying to get me to photograph the Berdine White's guitar for the
Oh, right.
longest time. And so first day at NAMM on Thursday, here he comes walking right by the booth. And I go up to him and I go, hey, you know, there were people like following him and taking pictures and stuff. And I'm like, who's that coming in? I'm like, oh, wow. So I walked up to him and I said, hey, I'm Lisa Johnson and we have a mutual friend. And he says, yeah, I go Lady J. He goes, oh, yeah. And of course, I was wearing a Lady J shirt. She's my staple in the
Right.
closet. And so right away, it was instant connection. I go, we've been trying to, she's actually called you a couple of times to photograph your bass. So he's like, let's do it. And so
Yeah,
we're gonna do
I've
that
been
now.
at a party at her shop with him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I must have
and
missed that one.
that was a good time.
Yeah.
Things get a little wild over there at the Peace Gallery.
Oh, yeah, the
You
J.
need to
Gerard
go over
Peace
there.
Gallery.
You need to go over there. She should suit you up because you
She
would look
should.
incredible in some of
cool.
her designs. It's
That's
all
cool.
you know. It's all about peace. She does, you know, Prince and
It's
Bob
clothes with
Dylan
the
and-
conscience. It's clothes
Yeah.
with the message. Yeah, she dresses Gerard Butler and
me.
Prince.
So that's all you
yeah,
need to know. It's me.
Max, Lisa.
Right.
I dressed myself today. Aside from the stained shirt, I think I did okay.
Turtle actually is the designer himself.
Yeah.
Did
Guy.
you know that?
Actually, no, dude, you look cool. I like the blue pants. He's got the blue. It's the cobalt blue pants.
Cobalt blue
It's a
with
special
the green
blue. It's not any
nude
regular blue.
glasses
That
and
took an eye when you found that.
the
And then
Chargers will
you
have
got
to
the
like
green
dismiss that,
sunglasses,
but whatever.
which totally are the same hue as the blue. So,
Yeah, totally.
and then in between, you're like you tone it down.
Right?
Yeah, you got it.
With the mutton chops. You have to turn to the side so
I know,
our
and the-
viewers
and
can
the br- and
see
the
what's
sideburns.
going on here. What the
Look
heck
awesome
is happening
on
to
you.
this?
Who was it that walked in and said, Elvis, you? You know, sort of, but it's very original. It's very Turtle, for
Oh,
sure.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always good to have inspiration. That's
Yeah.
fine, you know, to have a little TCB in there, taking care of business.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I've been doing this. I've been writing down like goals, you know, and one of them was to be more inspiring. So I think I've hit that out of the ballpark, and it just continues to roll over and carry on to the new year. Which
Yeah,
My
I
word
rubbed
this
off on
year
you.
is fearless.
Fearless.
is be fearless.
Be fearless. Because I've had anxiety. And, you know, anxiety also, too, kind of pushes you. Because you have anxiety is basically fear. So you go, okay, what am I afraid of? I'm afraid to pick up the phone and ask, can I photograph someone's guitar because they might be mean and they might go, no.
There's 108 guitars in here, honey. I don't think you've been afraid to ask anybody.
So-
and I mean, from Eric Clapton to just all of the greats. Jack White's in here. Just everybody's in here. So I'm not sensing a
buying it?
lot of fear out of you. I think
Well,
that's a big fat lie.
I would always say, well, what's the worst they can do? They can say no. So pick
Exactly.
up the fucking phone and dial. And I would. And I'd be like, in the beginning. However, I had a really good, solid background with Kodak, where I had to pick up the phone all the time to call clients. And they were big clients. Kodak's a big company. And I was dealing with companies that were multi-million-dollar accounts. So you have to have it together to be able to talk. So I have a phone voice. I can get on the phone. And I was in sales and marketing. So I knew how to do it. It was just, that little insecurity. I did keep going. There was something in me that just compelled me to do it. I had to do it. Once I got a certain number, like, Ace Frehley was one of the first, Peter Frampton. I had Les Paul, who was backing me from the beginning, and Chrissy Hynde was one of the first that I did, and Lou Reed. These are all New York shoots because that's where I started, and then it gave me like the confidence to go, well, I have Les Paul and these people already in the book, and I gained the confidence to do it. It's just still, now the book is out, so it does give me a little bit more.
Yeah, just look at you. Just show them the book, and then
I had
that's all you have to say.
What I was going to say is that I had to then do it once I got all those names, and I shot all these Eric Clapton guitars, 105 of them at the first auction in '99. And I just thought, I have to publish the book. I have to finish this project, because if I don't, I'm going to feel like a loser. Like, I did this, and all these people are going to go, whatever happened to that chick who took that photograph of my guitar? I let her have access, and nothing happened. So when I got to like 80% of it done, I had 2 yoga studios. I sold them and said, okay, I'm going to do this full time now. And I found a publisher. And then I did my last few shoots. Springsteen was the last shoot in the book, and Jimmy Page was one of the last, and Roger Waters' bass, and went to Michael Schenker and Jimmy Page. I did it the same, and Pearl Thompson, and there's the Schecters in the house today, and Pearl Thompson's Schecters in this book.
Right.
That's now sold because he's no longer with The Cure, and he's put that whole thing behind him, and he's onward, he's forward, and his name is Pearl now. Because he's just changed, like totally changed. If you want him on the show, he's coming to town, and he'll be
Yeah, we'd love to have
hanging
him.
with me. So I'd love to bring him by.
That would be great.
I would like explode.
And we got to have Schecters here from. And you know what? Maybe we can get him to play some live tracks.
Yeah,
That'd be fantastic.
He's unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. If you think his playing is amazing with The Cure, you should hear what he's doing now. It's like unlike anything you've heard. It's just art coming out of him. Dude is an amazing artist. He's going to have an exhibit in LA, and that will be a great conversation to have with him, because it's March 5th at Mr. Music Head, going down. Pearl Thompson's art, and he did all the art for all the album covers for The Cure.
Did he? I didn't know
yes,
that.
yeah. And
that's
he made a painting when he was in LA last time, and he gave it to me. It's in my house, and you should see the colors.
I can't wait.
He mixes all of his own
Give me your
colors.
address right now.
I was just telling him.
We have no fear. We will call him right now. Fear is not our middle name.
Oh, that's exciting.
we actually embrace fear because
We do a little bit.
You should be afraid of doing something because you've never done it before. You know what I mean? And that's all that is just like, well, I've never done, so I'm not going to know the outcome.
I have no fear.
Yeah.
I have zero fear.
Lululemon's manifesto says, do one thing that scares you every day.
Well,
Meaning.
if you have no fear about anything, then you have no stress about it. And a less stressful life is my goal.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm getting it. I don't allow things to rile me up anymore. I'm able to take a breath and not react, and that's really good. And sometimes I'm not perfect. I do. I especially at my boyfriend, he gets the worst of it.
As he should.
Poor guy. That's what happens with our closest relationships. Like you kind of grind it out, and so I get snippy with him. He gets on my nerves a lot.
Well, that happens.
Yeah.
He bugs me.
Turtle bugs me too.
As I should.
He's a great guy, though. He is a really great guy.
Lisa Johnson is our guest. For more information, log on to 108. I like pronouncing every number. You know, like I know it's 108, but it's like 108. You know, it's.
I like it.
I don't know. It reminds me of like me back in my military days when we would have to like say numbers. It would always be like, well, you got to say each one. So,
well, O too is the Om and the portal out. 108.
Namaste.
A friend of mine sent me. Lon Friend was in my booth on Saturday, and he was bringing rock stars in and doing interviews. And we had Richie Kotzen sitting there with Stevie Salas talking about how they learned how to play guitar together, or Stevie was teaching Richie or something.
Stevie signed these.
Oh, did he? Cool. And so it was a hilarious story, and that's going to be posted on my Facebook and my website.
Can everyone get there to when they go to 108rockstarguitars.com? Are there links to your Facebook and everything like that on there?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So everyone go check out her Facebook, and all that can be on 108rockstarguitars.com. Any last... it's not last words because we're gonna have you on, you know, periodically, over and over again. But you know, anything do we?
I guess
cover
what I
everything?
should tell you is that's really important to me is the Les Paul Foundation, my charity, and that's because Les Paul supported me from the very beginning. He let me photograph his guitar first. He was the first famous guitar I photographed, and I used to go visit him all the time until I moved away from New York. And then every time I went to New York, I beelined it for the Iridium Room, and I'd always go back and talk to Les. And the last time I saw him was at the end of 2008, and I sat with him, and I had a stack of prints at that point because I'd been shooting for 12 years. And I go, "Hey Les, you know, remember when I photographed your guitar 12 years ago?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Well, since then, look at all these. Here's Lash's Les Paul. Here's Zach Wilde's Les Paul. Here's you know, all these Les Pauls."
Right.
And I said, "You know, I need someone to write the foreword for my book. And what do you think? You know, you're their hero." And he said, "Well, I see what you're saying. You know, call up my manager tomorrow." And I said, I'm going to call him tomorrow because I don't want you to forget." And he said, "I won't forget." And he did not. And he wrote the foreword. He died 6 months later. And it's a give back to him, you know. I really
absolutely.
like to have, you know, the godfather of guitar makers like endorse me like that. It's just amazing, you know, and humbling. And I know his guitar tech for many years. He had 45 years. He was his guitar tech, Thomas Doyle, and it's just great to know that lineage and have been a part of it, and to have Les bless me. So
definitely.
God bless Les. And 10% of my book proceeds does benefit the Les Paul Foundation, which is to help children in get grants for music education and the hearing impaired medical research. So
everybody buy 2 or 3.
Right.
Yeah,
That would really help. Once again, 108rockstarguitars.com. Thank you so much for coming on. Really
Pleasure.
enjoyed it.
thank you, Max.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you, my love.
you know, our chair is always open for you. So
Thank you, Turtle.
Anytime you ever need anything, just let us know.
Okay, I will.
Cool.
Likewise.
When we come back, Max, who do we have coming in to sit in the chair?
We have a couple of really amazing guests. We have 3 amazing guests today. We have the ever talented, ever enlightening, ever popular, ever handsome Jose Fritas from After. And we have Stephen Cristofaro from Guitars of Love, which is my personal charity that I'm working with and was there at NAMM representing. So we're going to talk to them and find out what's going on and how all of you can help with that.
Perfect. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Lisa, go ahead and catch this. This is the album that we're listening to. You ready?
Okay.
That's awesome, Turtle.
Right?
That's awesome.
She like
I was getting ready to listen. I thought you were going to say, "Catch this track," and you were going to press play. So I was like, "Okay, my ears are finally going to get to hear something." So I wasn't prepared. That's not fair. Can you try that again?
No.
Okay. I love this title, Afterlife.
Yeah. Go ahead and pick a song. I'll let you
Okay.
pick the next song.
All right, let's go. What's track number 6? Through the Mayhem.
Through the Mayhem.
That sounds
okay. Let's
interesting.
hear that song, and then did we say who was next?
I believe Jose is
Jose
next.
next. Okay, so we actually have the guy that's singing on this entire album next. We're kind of a big deal. So stick around right after we hear Through the Mayhem, more Tortoise and Hare Experience coming up.